Hi, I'm Julie Penshorn, and this is Sam. He has a loving home. He belongs, but not every dog or every kid feels that. So I wrote a children's story. This is my new book, The Barnyard Buddies Meet a Newcomer. And with the help of some theater students, we just turned it into a play. And you can see it right now. And teachers and parents, you can make your own play too. We will post it if you send it to us. Be safe, share compassion. Now, here's the play.
Old Blue shivered. He remembered home. He remembered how his family cried when the water turned bad. Then everything changed. He had wandered alone for weeks. He was tired and cold. At last he saw a small farmhouse and a barn. He smelled food and crawled under the fence.
Say, you there, dog. You must go. Now hurry, leave quickly. Farmer Jim does not like strangers.
Blue eyed Portland's food. His mouth watered and his stomach hurt.
They hoped I'd be fine out on my own. They thought I'd find food and care. They didn't know my heart would break, 'cause I didn't belong anywhere. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, but the worst is I'm lonely. Will anyone ever love me?
Other animals gathered.
He looks so tired.
He needs water, food, and a cozy bed.
What about Farmer Jim?
I think we should hide it from Jim until he feels better.
He will need to share someone's food. I guess he can eat some of mine.
Yes, Portland. I'm afraid our grain and hay will make him sick.
Well, we have a problem because I vote to send him on his way. Dogs bite. He can be dangerous.
He looks slow now, but he might chase the chickens and me. I don't want him to stay.
Dogs bite horses, so they say. Makes us worry he can't stay.
Dogs bite donkeys, hear our song. He can't stay here, he can't belong.
Blue wobbled and sank to the ground. After a few minutes, King said,
Well, he is too weak to go anywhere.
I am worried about sharing my food, but I have seen helpful dogs. Maybe just a short stay.
I'd love to let him stay.
What would it take for you, Old Dot, and you, Gray, to join the majority and let him stay? I need to feel safe.
Yes, he will have to earn my trust.
If we watch him carefully, will you consent to a short stay? Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
I am so glad we worked this out. It seems like a good plan.
He's hungry. Portland, do you have any dinner left?
Yes, Clover. I have sweet potatoes and bread. They are my favorites. Here you go, dog.
Let's make him a bed in the back of the barn where no one goes.
Hurry then. Jim will be here soon.
Together, they used loose straw to make a cozy bed. The tired dog ate. Then he slipped into his bed. He already felt he had a new family. He slept peacefully.
Lonely dog, no worries tonight. Sleepy dog, rest your head. Lonely dog, we'll watch over you. Sleepy dog, sleep. Go to bed.
Jim came out a bit later to give hay to Old Dot, King, Clover, and Gray Donkey. He brought a bit more dinner for Pig, who was extra grateful. While they all ate, Mrs. McLeod flew off to hunt. The animals chatted the next day.
How do we know he won't bite and chase us when he's stronger?
We can only control our own actions, but often kindness brings more kindness.
I wonder if he'll always eat my food. Farmer Jim won't like feeding another animal.
There's not much room on this small farm for others.
I wonder if Jim will be kind when he sees him.
Blue woke that evening and took a long, noisy, sloppy drink from the water tank. He was so noisy, he didn't hear Jim approaching. Suddenly they were face to face. Jim's face twisted like it did the time Clover got into the vegetable garden. But before Jim could move, Blue bolted off into the dark night. All wondered. They waited, alert. Then they heard... The sounds from the henhouse were frightening. Wings flapping, chickens screeching. Then silence. Jim ran over to the henhouse and threw open the door. He counted the hens.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They were pecking and clucking quietly. Nothing else was in that coop. Listening, with ears perked, they waited, staring into the dark. Soon, in the distance, they heard... And then, in the moonlight, they saw a coyote running like his feet were burning, running in his fright, running from the chasing dog, shadows in the moonlight. Time ticked by. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4. Jim paced back and forth. The animals watched and waited. They waited and waited. Finally, Blue, chest heaving, walked slowly into the barnyard.
Come here, boy. It's okay. Come on. You saved the chickens. Thank you. But you need a home. I will take you to the shelter tomorrow morning, and they will find someone to love you.
Jim walked slowly toward the house. Blue hung his head. The animals were silent. They thought Blue belonged with them.
You did a brave and kind thing tonight, dog.
I will share my dinner with you anytime.
We care about you, Blue. I am so sad.
I'm afraid I'll never have a home. No one will take home a dirty old dog from the shelter.
I can't believe Jim would send you away.
Mrs. McLeod flew to the house and watched Jim.
That poor old boy. What can I do? I can't have another animal to care for and feed. That poor old boy. He reminds me of Red. How I miss him. Red came here seeking refuge too. I didn't properly thank that newcomer.
Mrs. McLeod hooted, like she does. Jim looked up and smiled as he watched her fly off. The next morning, Jim found the old dog lying motionless on the cold, wet grass. He bent down with concern.
Don't give up. I don't have much, but we could share. I thought my heart had walls around it, but it's opened up to you. You can have a home here, forever. And I think I'll name you Blue. Hello, Blue. Hello, Blue. I'm a lot like you. Hello, Blue. Hello, Blue. I've been lonely too. Hello, Blue. Could I give the love you need to live? Could you be someone who loves me? Hello, blue. Could you be someone